Today on Can Haz Armory, how to set up the strips for a regular local event. Nothing regarding the carpet strips or the metal strips, just the boxes, the reels, and the floor cords. So this video is less a reshoot and more of a re-edit. The original video I shot years ago, the information is actually all really good. I don't need to update it much. I have no place to reshoot it now anyway, this particular one. I don't have the room to toss the cables out like I did it originally. So I'm going to use the old video. The only real difference between the old video information and the new stuff is that we no longer use Ullman reels in the Nationals crates, now the Favero reels, the pizza boxes. Thank God, which are much easier to deal with. They don't follow you down the strip like the Ullmans do. Other than that, though, the setups are pretty much the same. How to tip the reels down is the same. And it's generally the information is still very good, so we're going to go with that stuff. Enjoy. It's actually not that difficult to set up. Tearing down has a few issues in it you have to take care of. Let's look at the box first. I have a Favero box here. And where the floor cords plug into, someone's on the top, on the Favero on the back side. And just like the receiving socket for the reel or an epee socket, they only go in one way. The sides correspond to what color light. So this side corresponds to the red light, that side to the green light. This little black one in the center here is marked pieced, and what that is, it's a grounding cable. If you are using a grounded strip, you want to plug a ground cable into that, and it attaches to the strip. It can attach by, it be a receiving port on the side of the strip if it's an aluminum strip. It can be taped down, preferred with conductive tape, like used in heating ducts, or it can be an alligator clip if you have a fabric strip. So the box are pretty easy to set up. It's the floor cords and the reels are the issue. So let's talk about floor cords for a second. Okay, so when some people will wrap up a floor cord, or as we armors like to call them, adjusted meehan body cords, they'll allow them to take it this, grab it here, and they'll go do the elbow routine like this. And it's fast, it's convenient, it's wrong. What it does, it makes the cord knot up. And when you want to throw it out there so you can set up a strip, it will fly about 10 feet maybe and then stop. So let me show you what that looks like with the cord that's wrapped the wrong way. This one, right here. Right now, every armor in the world is going, oh God, no. So hang on a second, we'll toss it out. Okay, so let's toss this cord out and see what it does. See, it really didn't go out that far. It actually came back. You see how it's kind of tangled there a little bit. And that's bad because it takes time to unwind that cord. If you're setting a lot of strips up, it wastes a lot of time. There's a better way to wrap the cord. I'll show it to you here. You take it, stretch like this. Now watch where my hands go. Palm together, another wrap out, back of the hand to the palm. And we simply alternate that. In and out, in and out. What you're doing is you're making a coil. So when you toss it, it uncoils, and ideally will fly out the entire length of the cable. And let's see about that. So here it is. Way out there. So that's not a problem there. That's how you wrap the cords. Let's look at floor reels next. Okay, so let's talk about reel setup. You're going to run typically 2, maybe 3 different versions of the reels at most events. Typically you see the Ullman reel, we jokingly call the blue turtle reel. These are ones that are in the Nationals crate. And they're very, very common. You also might see the Faveros, the little square pizza boxes, and occasionally see we call snail reels or Leon Paul's, or kind of a triangular, standing up triangle shape. The important thing here is orientation and taping the reel down properly. And before we go on, the back of the reel here is where the floor cord goes. If you have an Ullman has this arm off to the side, ignore that. That's for an old grounding system that we no longer use, so ignore that one. Orientation, let's take first. Let's say this is the strip. Strip's going this way. You want to make sure that the reel is oriented so the cable is going up that way, not that way. I've seen that done. Why I thought it was a good idea, I'll never know. Placement. This is the reel, don't place it here. Why? So we retreat over the line and trip on it. Put it over here. So it's off the side, out in the volume of the playing area. Next, it's usually about 2 feet inside, almost in line with the scoring table because it's out of the way and we have room to do it. As far as taping it down, the idea is to make sure the reel doesn't follow you. Omen reels are notorious for following you like a lost puppy down the strip if you don't have them taped down properly. I saw one a couple weeks ago at a tournament where the reel was following the fencer, and not only had it followed him down to the strip to about midway between his on-guard line and his 2-meter line, it was actually about 1.5 feet inside the strip, so he could have easily tripped on it. And it was saber, so he was going to move fast. So here's how you tape these down. Actually, here's how you don't tape these down. Most of the time, people will take tape and they'll go 18 million miles of tape over the top to the floor. And they wonder why it breaks loose eventually. Here's why. Because the tape is hitting the floor at this angle. And as you jerk the reel around, it works and peels up, and then it breaks loose. It's in peel. It's a pretty weak connection. What you want to do is have the tape down in sheer, flat. What we did at the Nationals crate, what Ted Lee did, was to take the handle here, and he bolted some flat plates to it and taped down that way. Other ones, like I do, I made a little plate for it. This is Velcro to the bottom of the reel. So I'm going to take it, it on there. That sticks at the back, and what I'll do is I will put a line of 3-inch masking tape over the back right here. So it's holding onto this and holding onto the floor. It is in shear, and the reel rarely breaks loose. And I have saber fencers, so they pull on quite often. You can also do another way where you take 2 pieces of tape. Let's say my palm's a sticky side. You make them about yay long, and you overlap them halfway like this. So sticky back, and the other side over here you have the top, one side sticky, one side's not. You put the sticky side on the bottom of the reel, the other sticky side's on the floor. You could also see we're wrapping it around the handle. Same idea is, the overall thing is you want to make sure that something is attached to the reel that is flat to the floor so it doesn't move. Even a single line of masking tape that's 1 inch wide can do the job. The wider the better. 3 inches easily available at Home Depot and Lowe's. So let me show you how this is done. Okay, so you can see the reel down. You can see the outline of the plastic right there. It's held down. If I kick it, watch how it does not move. I'm kicking it pretty hard. So it's not going to go anywhere unless the tape comes off the floor, if the floor is dusty or whatnot. And I'll show you the other method, the double tape method. Stand by. So here's the folded over tape. This side of the tape here, this tape's about that long actually. This is the sticky side. This is the top side. You see it's overlapped. So this part is the exposed part, that's sticky side down. That's exposed part, sticky side up. Let's put it on the reel. So here we have it down. So obviously the sticky side's down here. Sticky side, the other end, is on the underside of the reel. Now it's holding onto the Velcro. Let's see if it holds still. Same deal. And if you wrap it around the handle, making sure the sticky side's down, handle runs under it, and that's how you set the reels up. As always, happy armoring.